Hi guys. It's so cold. I just checked the thermometer. I'm like sitting here freezing. 64 degrees in my house. So I turned up my heater. And I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I guess I need to wear a thicker sweatshirt now. Anyway, that means it's even colder outside. It's humid. It's 40% humidity. So that means that it's 40% humidity at 64, and outside it's probably in the 50s at 60% humidity. So it like sucks the heat out of your body right through your clothes. It's the weather I don't like. I don't like this weather. Anyway. Time for a grocery haul. And a shopping haul. Because I went to Target. Got some things from Target. And I got some groceries. Okay, I'm going to pause you guys and go pull some stuff out. Okay, so first I went to Target. But that's not where I'm going to start this adventure. Okay, let's move that out of the way. First I'm going to start with my groceries so that I can get them put in the fridge. Or started cooking, depending on what it is. Alright, so I started with a grocery list. Carrots, apples, some oranges or citrus of some sort, some corn chips, and some romaine lettuce. And I got all that. Whoa. Stay. Got you guys braced up against some avocados that I bought a couple days back. Anyway, so I got that and a bunch of other stuff. I kind of wrote down a meal plan, chicken stir fry, and chicken bone soup, because it's soup season. And here's my envelope, my receipt. So I'm trying, really gonna try to stay on a $50 per week budget, and I managed to make it in under $50 for all this food, and some of it's extra and some of it will last a lot longer, like shelf stable. You only need a tablespoon of it, and some of it will probably just plain old last until next week. So, let's get started here. First thing on the docket is lemongrass. It's an amazing smelling herb, and it tastes so good in soup. Chicken bone soup is what I'm gonna use it in. This little packet, this is like way more than enough to do a big pot of soup, was $1.98. Next thing on my list was, I got mushrooms. They were, they're criminy mushrooms. I got a bunch of them. You guys probably won't see, maybe a little bit see into my bag. I got about 0.6 pounds, and they were $2.98 a pound, so it was $1.82 worth of mushrooms. That is gonna go into soup and into stir fry. So I'm gonna chop them up, and like the stems are gonna go into making the soup stock. I don't know. I just cook that way. So normally how I do that is you make a bundle with your herbs and your aromatics, not aromatics, but flavor enhancers that you don't necessarily want to be in your soup. So cheesecloth is a good way to do that. And that's where those stems are all gonna go. So I even intentionally bought some with extra stems, just for that. Okay, next thing on the list just going down my receipt, is I got stir-fry vegetables. I still have some stuff in my refrigerator that I intend to use up. This was I don't know, 10.5 ounces of vegetables and 3 ounces. It's got sauce in it, which I probably can't eat the sauce, which is fine, whatever. I foresee my food allergy meaning that I will be collecting a lot of sauce packets. You'd be surprised what wheat is in. A lot of soy sauces, hoisin sauces, things like that have a lot of wheat in them. Well, not a lot of wheat, but they do have wheat in them. Stir-fry stuff was $3.98. Next is romaine hearts. These are kind of expensive for romaine hearts. $3.78 for a pack of 3 of them. And I can normally get them for like $2.50, but I really didn't want to grocery shop at 5 places, and other things were cheaper enough that it compensated for that. I know, not the most frugal way to think about it, but to save, what, $1.20, I would have had to drive about $2 worth of gas to the next grocery store. So, yeah, it really wasn't worth it for my time. Next is some McCormick fennel seeds. I'll be making with the lemongrass fennel seeds, a little bit of cinnamon, ginger, onion, some crushed peppers, garlic, and I think coriander. I'll be making like an Asian inspired chicken soup. Should be good. Everybody seems to be sick around me, and chicken soup keeps you from getting sick. Makes you better from being sick. I don't know. But whichever way. Next, I got some creamer, coconut creamer, dairy-free, gluten-free. This is So Delicious brand in French vanilla. I really would have rather gotten sweet cream, but it's what they had. That'll be really, French vanilla would be really good with chai tea, because I've got a lot of spiced tea bags. So what we're gonna do tomorrow, make some black tea and some spiced tea into a teapot and drink it with vanilla coconut creamer. That'll be awesome. I also got some soy nog. It's dented. Silk soy milk eggnog. Dairy free. And it's also gluten free. I double checked. It says so right there. Dairy free. Gluten free. Whatever. Carrots. I got a 2-pound bag of just basic generic carrots. That was 98 cents. For some reason my phone just went really dark. So that was 98 cents. And then let's go over the rest of what I got here. Mandarin oranges, $3.98 for 2 pounds. Apples. I got some more apples. These are gala apples, whatever you want to call them. They were 78 cents a pound. It was $1.56. Tortilla chips. I got 2 bags of tortilla chips for $3.08. That must be where no, that's how much I guessed that they would be. Man, I wrote down on this, you know, because as you grocery shop and you want to stay on budget, you write down how much every item is costing. That came out to $45. I was like, sweet, I will be under budget. But I was rounding up and things like that, you know, like you do. We don't have taxes. We don't have sales tax in Oregon, so that's not a thing. But I still ended up cost less money than even that. Anyway, okay, tortilla chips, 2 of those. This is rice noodles. I got 3 of these for $1.54 each. Nope. It was $1.60 each. Okay, that makes more sense. $1.60 each. That was $4.80 for 3 of these. This is for the chicken and rice noodle soup because I'm gluten-free. And then I also got some meat stuff. So this might be a little creepy for some people, but I spent some time hanging out with Filipinas when I was stationed in Japan, and I learned a trick about adding nutrition to your food. You cook with other pieces of meats. So I got some chicken hearts for $2.28, and then I also learned that if you cook with the bones in, you get really good flavor in your soup. So I got chicken legs. They were 78 cents per pound. So that was $2.46 for those. So that's all the groceries that I bought for $50 for this week, and the grand total was $38.77. So under budget for that. All right, I'm gonna pause you guys and clean this up and then go get the rest of my stuff. Okay, so I'm an eggnog fiend. Favorite part about this time of year is getting eggnog. So I just poured myself some of this soy nog. It's not thick like a lot of the store-bought eggnogs are. How you can pour it and then you can add your rum or your vodka or your milk. It's not thick like that. It's got a good orange spice and a good noggy flavor. It does have a kind of like a soy milk flavor to it. But definitely like an orange peel, orange oil flavor to it. And the spices, it's pretty good. If you guys have access to it, try it. It's a little bit sweet, totally palatable, but I chose to kind of cut it a little bit with some unsweetened almond milk, and this stuff is torture for me to get through. It tastes like drinking almonds, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. But, so, adding these two together, I think that's how I'm gonna finish this off. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go get all my stuff from Target next. Okay, I'm back. So today I went to meet up with this walking group that I kind of walk with, usually don't walk with, but I'm still part of the group. I need to do better. I need a new rain jacket. One that's actually waterproof for longer than 15 seconds. Yeah. My rain jacket gets me to the car and then to the house, and then it's leaking through the seams. No good. Because I live in Oregon and it rains. Anyway. If you can't tell, my ADD meds have worn off. Okay. So, I went to go meet up with the group, and then I knew that I was going to turn this into a day out, so I went into my rainy day fund, which I'm going to be using for buying clothes and things like that I need to be replacing things. Like my socks are all stretched out. I'm I have underwear that's like maybe 6-7 years old. Like, it's time to start moving it out, but I like can't until I've got replacements, because I have this thing about having at least 2 weeks worth of underwear in case something happens and you can't do laundry. Yeah, because that happens to me. Anyway, so I brought $100 with me, and I still have a lot of it left. I'm keeping track of the money that is in my cans. Out of my rainy day fund had 109, so I brought 100 with me, and I did not spend $100. I didn't spend. I'm kind of surprised. I ran out of time and I got hungry and I needed to go eat. Otherwise, I was going to, I don't know. I kept getting weird and lightheaded. Like, you bend down and crouch down to look at something on the bottom shelf, and you stand up and you're like, whoa, gravity. Whoa, everything just got weird and dark colored, and I just put the receipt in here, and that's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, let's move on, since I've got about 3, 4, 5 minutes before this runs out of memory. So, I knew I was going to go to Target. I wanted to look at sheets. I've got 2 pairs of sheets that I would like to replace. So, one of my goals is to bring something in. I have to get rid of something. And I've got 2, easily 3 pairs of sheets that I would get rid of if I could bring in another set of sheets. And that would bring me to 3 sets of sheets. A flannel and 2 not flannels. That would be great for summer, because I don't know, I have this thing about having extras. So, and another thing, my socks are wearing out. I wanted to look at underwear and sports bras and jeans, and then I just got too hungry and I needed to leave and go grocery shopping, because I knew that my ADD meds were wearing off and it was about ready to get expensive. So I managed to walk out of there only spending, because Target is dangerous, $29.98. So here's what I got. I got some basic white socks. Crew length socks that are fitted to your feet. They have heels on them. They're good socks. These are Hanes Cool Comforts, cushioned Crew, and they have, they're just good socks. They're better than the junky Bi-Mart ones that I got. This 10-pack was $9.99, which is $1 a pair. That's not terrible, considering these other 2 pairs of socks that I got. These are pretty cool. Actually, they're really warm. So these are a wool blend. Both of them are wool blends. They're called Alaska Knits. High performance wool blend. They're super fitted. Let's see. This one is 66 acrylic, 18 wool, 15 nylon, and 1% lycra. This one is 55 acrylic, 14 wool, 14 cotton, 12 poly, 1% lycra spandex, and 4% other fibers. They don't know what they put in here. I don't know. But they're cool. Warm. I have woolly socks that are wearing out, super stretched out, getting holes in the soles, sort of things like that. So these will be great for replacing those. Mostly just wear them in my slippers. So having only 2 pair is good enough. Each of these was $8. So that's $16 for 2 pairs of socks. Insanity when you're on a budget, but they last for, I think my last ones lasted 10 years. So that's a lot of socks for 10 years. Probably good for 10 years. Ugh. I got these little notebooks. They're just pocket notebooks, lined. There's 3 notebooks in here for $3.99. And I got these. Here we go. I got these so that I can keep them in my wallet, and I intend on making a wallet actually, hopefully soon, and that way I've got a thing I can write out. I can write out like grocery money, what kind of things I bought, how much of it was necessary, how much of it was on my list, how terrible did I do, you know, things like that, and then where my allowance is going, blah blah blah. So that's kind of what these are for. I've been looking at them online, and this was not a terrible price, plus I can start it now. So that was my